Are blue avians real? I wanted to touch on this because a big part of my work is working with starseeds and connecting them to their star families, doing starseed origin readings and things like that. So first, I want to be clear that I don't know a lot about Corey Goode and his experiences. I would love to have the time to read more and watch more about other people's experiences, but I just don't really have the time. I also do not know Corey personally. I have nothing against Corey. This video does not intend to be in support or against Corey as a person. From what I do know, Corey Goode is a contactee who has been on Gaia TV, written books, and is generally a huge part of the UFO and disclosure community. But recently he has been in a deposition in September 2022. There is some lawsuits over money and his stories and what he is now calling his creations. So, of course, some questions arise when we see someone who spoke very openly about these experiences as a true story and are now expressing that some of this is exaggerated or even made up. It's important for me to address for two reasons. One is that I would hate for this situation to dishearten people and shake their belief in our star families. But the other is because I have worked with a starseed who had a connection to avian type of beings. And that made me think of this very interesting concept about fictional writers and what they perceive as their imagination. So, fictional writers often write about things that turn out to be true. We all know this from watching Contagion during the pandemic. Many film and TV shows seem to predict future events. Why is this? One thing that is very important to understand is that our imagination is connected to our third eye chakra. And what else is connected to our third eye chakra? Psychic abilities, precognition, intuition, and our dreams. When we exercise any of these things, we also enhance the other areas. So fictional writers may believe that they are only accessing their imagination, but they are actually also accessing their psychic and spiritual abilities. I feel that this connection between spiritual abilities and imagination is one that really hinders spiritual growth. So many people want to suppress imagination as a negative thing, thinking of it as a block to their spiritual abilities, which just simply is not true. This is why visualization is such an important part of meditation and manifestation. Imagination holds a lot of power. The key is knowing which is imagination and which is not. But it is a useful tool not to overlook. I'll give an example of fictional characters that are actually real spiritual entities. As many of you know, one of my main focuses is spiritual cleansing dense energy of clients, and removing negative entities. So far, I have written 2 articles about this that I'll link below. In one of them, I talk about my experiences with my own negative entities that I had to remove in my own astral projection experiences. The last and strongest that I had to deal with looked exactly like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I wondered for some time if I perceived it like that because of the movie, or whether the person who created that CGI image of Gollum had a similar experience to me. Had they channeled that entity into their creation, seemingly, from their imagination? I realised this isn't an isolated incident. There are many beings in the astral, positive and negative, that are not depicted in TV or movies that many of us see and share the same experiences. If you astral travel, when you connect with others who do astral travel too, you will realise this. So this brings me to Corey Goode. Now, I believe that Corey Goode may have had some experiences. I do. But it does seem very possible that he may have over-exaggerated or played on these experiences to be more engaging to his audience and get his message out further. I also feel it's a shame that he seems to be against others connecting with blue avian beings and sharing their experiences. Because whether he has truly connected with the beings he writes about, or whether he channels them in a way that fictional writers often do, others do have experiences with them. There are real races of beings that are avian-like. They are from Venus, and they did visit Egypt. I know this from a personal channeling connecting a starseed to their star family. At the time of the session, which was in September 2021, I had no knowledge of Corey Goode. I cannot compare and contrast the similarities of my experience against Corey Goode's, so I cannot really say if they were the same beings. I would have to delve deeper into Corey Goode's claims and experiences to really compare and contrast similarities. But I'd love to know your thoughts on Corey Goode, especially whether you feel he has had some experiences or no experiences. Is he outright lying, or is he exaggerating? Do you have any thoughts about imagination and its connection to the third eye and psychic abilities? Have you ever experienced avian-like beings? I would love to know, so leave me a comment.